Hello, welcome to my studio for another daily live video, painting and chat. Not such a lovely day today, but it's better for the light because it's quite tricky. Hello, Helen. Hello, Heather. Thank you so much for the Pontefract cakes. I'm going to mention them later on. Hello, Annaline. Oh, Jules, hello. You'd have been so jealous last night, Jules. I went back to the river. Why am I pointing that way? It's that way. And Fifey came as well, and it was at the warmest point of the day. I took a flask and my husband, and we cycled along. It's only like 3 minutes, like at superhuman cycling speed. And we went to the river and got in and had a swim, and it was just divine. And I did play with it's not a GoPro, it's a very cheap version of a GoPro camera, which is an underwater camera, but I've worked out why none of the underwater shots worked. That's because I think the remote control button doesn't work underwater. Maybe some of you know about that sort of thing. Hello, Marianne Ray, Claire Barnes and Joan McNamara from Ireland. It's lovely to see you. I've got some ideas for today. We have got a few paintings that would be quite nice to go to the next stage with. I've also got I've got an open tulip bulb. See this? It's a rococo. It's called. It's absolutely stunning. I might have a crack at that as well. Jean Cole, William Pittendrigg, Tracy. Hello. I love the paintings you've been sending me. So nice. Right, let's get cracking. Can't say hello to everyone. Ruth Brown is watching. Ruth Brown is my daughter, so that makes her a bit special. Catherine Lee, hello. Judith Banks, hello. Laura Hardy Rochester, William Tulips, yeah, tulips. And Maria Cooper, hello Maria. I love your recent paintings. I am so jealous, but have to be content with sitting in puddles instead. Yeah, you should get Pip to install one of those, like in between a swimming pool and a paddling pool, and then you put a bungee, tie it to your underpants or something, and you just swim against the rope. Loads of people doing that. Right, I'm going to... Hello, I hope your live video does not overheat my computer today. So do I. Hello, Lisa. Right, I thought... do you remember yesterday we had a go at this bearded iris? I've added a tiny little bit. I've added another petal up here and these ones here, and a tiny little bit of shade to these areas and these areas. And they really come to life when you get your tiny little brush and paint the tiny little veins on them. So shall we just quickly do that? I hope that you can see. And today, rather than get into a paddy and not be able to find my brush, I've already found it. Hello, Emmy Rowell. So the saga of poor little Marv, one of my little sausage dogs. He was a rehome. He's not great today. He warmed up his breakfast and just seems to be weak. He's just not really... Hello, David Robinson. Yeah, poor little Marv. It may be a simple matter of him just taking time to get the insulin levels correct, because he was diagnosed with diabetes a week ago, but he doesn't seem to have put on any weight at all. By putting the sort of veins on this flower, it kind of you can imply that this bit here is curling up simply by sort of drawing the lines. Oh no, poor Marv. I know, Amanda, it's so sad. He's like a whippet, and normally he's such a little plumpster, And he's just very, very, very scrawny. And his little sort of keel bone here is sticking out. And he's got no sort of verve for life. The only thing he got excited about was going back and gobbling up the vomit that he did a little bit later, but all dogs do that, don't they? Disgusting. Mind you, the other dogs had shown quite an interest in the vomit too. Hello Fo, hello Helen. We had Scott Starsky on insulin for years. Thank you, Maria Cooper. It gets better. Well, I certainly hope so, because can you see I'm by drawing the veins like this, I am hopefully conveying the impression that this petal here is shaped like that. Victoria Older, hello. Hello Stephanie, hello Daff. Stephanie, I bet you are feeling very sad, as I am, about our lovely, lovely Steve, who was the vicar of, I think, Wakenhamshof, and he was just great. He was so down to earth, but absolutely just filled with the Holy Spirit, and he just wasn't he wasn't like a real traditional vicar. He was just that bit special. He did these Sunday night services down at Humshoff, which is miles away, but I did go out of my way to go to them because they were just great. They were lively, and that's where I used to see Stephanie. And of course nobody can go to the funeral, which was yesterday. I think people of Wark, from what I gather, lined the streets, which is rather lovely. He really was a special chap. Only if you don't clear it up. Oh, the vomit. Yeah, well, I wasn't actually here. Fifey was here when the took place. I was in the lambing pens next door, where I have to say I'm feeling a little bit jaded after this morning's. Does that sort of begin to look like an iris? Hello Ian Gibbons, hello Cameron Dixon, hello. Yeah, this morning, there were a couple of quite traumatic lambings. I got there and my sort of immediate boss of this voluntary role said to me, as soon as Willie comes back, get him to go down to the bottom of the shed there, because there's a mule yow and I can't get the lamb out, get him to do it. So I went, okay. And then she said, and there's a swale as well, there's a swale, get him to do it, but don't ring him up, he'll get cross. So I got on and I did all the water and the cake, tramping up and down. Every time I go, I try and find a better system so that I don't come back feeling utterly wrecked and have all parts of my body aching. Anyway, Willie came in and I said, oh Willie, there's a mule. There's a mule having a lamb, and apparently Susan couldn't get it out, and he went, ooh, and he got one of those great big rubber gloves that goes up to here. And we both went down the shed and found her quite quickly, and Willie's a big strong chap, and just got her and flipped her on her back and said, right, and what we did, do you remember the other day I was explaining how you can do this thing where they call it rubbing in another lamb, and trick the mother into thinking that she's had two. So he said, go and get one of the, because I said there's a lamb in the hot box up there that she wants to rub in. So I went and got that, and what you do is you position the lamb that you want to trick the mother into thinking is hers at the action end, so that when the lamb comes out, all that is amniotic fluid, actually the amniotic fluid will go over the top of the lamb that isn't actually hers, not her. It won't be her birth mother, although anyway. So I went and got the lamb, and he got in there, and it was clear things weren't going to plan. And I had to go and get this stuff that's probably a bit like blue KY jelly that comes in a great big... see, we're getting there. Hello, Jane Pybus. I remember what he said to me the last time I saw him. I'm all the better for seeing... Oh, how lovely, Stephanie. Yeah. He was lovely. That is beautiful. There isn't a better system. Oh, the rubbing in one. Yeah, so anyway, I was blanching at this point as if I hadn't seen it before, because Willie is a big, strong chap and he was huffing and puffing. And I just thought, oh, poor sheep. But obviously it had to come out. Had to come out at some stage. So I had to get a string and put it round one of the little feet that was emerging through the narrow exit, and then some round the other foot, and I had to wait for the contraction. Anyway, we eventually got this massive lamb out and over the other one, got them all rubbed in together, so the amniotic fluid was evenly spread, and then that all went well. And then it just all happened again not long after that with another one. So quite traumatic. Right, I'm cooking bacon and eggs, so this chat about lamb fluid is lovely. Look, do you want to know what goes on in the country or not? This is real life. Tooth and what's it? Red in tooth and claw or something. Right, so this papery bit here, from which the iris emerges, also has these veins on them, and it's nice painting them because it sort of makes it just, I don't know, it makes it kind of jump out almost. Stripes again. Now then, Willie has brother Jimmy, whose wife is watching right now, and last night I was out walking the dog, the only dog that's actually well enough to go for long walks. 3 weeks ago we had 4 dogs. Now we've only got 3, and only one of them's any use. When I say use, like for serious walking. And we looked up the hill, and the ridge and furrows that are like residual from many years ago farming practice, all were picked out by the evening sun, and we discussed them in a sort of a very interesting way. We had a lovely chat. Emma, did he mention that we had a long chat? What brush are you using there? A tiny, weeny little... How do you get it to... I don't even know whether... There. Just a very small, pointy brush. I use... Flipping heck. Oh, you can't see because it's a mirror image. If you go to my website and you go shop and then you go to Lockdown Gang, there won't be anything for sale, but I have put some stuff there about the paint I use, the paper I use, the brushes I use, and the discount code just for you lot. If you were to go shopping on my website, and let's face it, you can't go shopping anywhere else apart from a supermarket, and if you buy anything other than food, you get looked at askance, apparently. I have not been anywhere except the Co-op for so long that I think I can probably spend the rest, never go again in my life. You see, all right. Fascinating. Used to help not in Herr Hoff as a child. Yeah, well, it's good to learn about these things, isn't it? And it doesn't matter, I sort of help out year after year, and I still feel like a complete simpleton, and I forget things. But I have to say, my sort of immediate boss of this voluntary role, for all she says that she's didn't do particularly well at school, she's a very, very good teacher, and you don't need telling over and over again. Mind you, she probably says stuff behind my back like that, Marianne, she's thick. But I would say I am better than nothing, which would be the alternative right now. What with the coronavirus? I can't wait for the bearded irises well, I say that, they might not grow. I have got some plants, but we don't often actually get flowers out of them. But there's usually one or two, and I properly milk them for all they're worth. As soon as they're a bud, I cut them, I bring them into the studio, and then you can ask me to do anything, and I won't, not until it's completely dead. And I have had full use, painting use. I'm trying to go quite quickly so that we can get through some other things as well. Brian Tilley's watching. Hello. I did like your recent piece on about Bellingham. That was really, really nice. I loved it, and I quite agree with you. Brian Tilley is a journalist at the Hexham Courant, although I think you're retired, but not entirely retired, obviously. And he wrote a really, really lovely piece about how he first came to Bellingham and how he leapt at the chance to live there when he was offered a job in the area, and how warm and friendly he found everybody. I completely agree, I concur. So it is looking quite like an iris. I'm going to do one thing that really, really makes it look like an iris. Now, you know this really disgusting brush, we've seen it before, the broken brush. Oh, there it is. Stick it back on. And it's got these nasty little bristly bits here. I'm going to clean it first, because I'm going to... Bearded irises are called bearded irises, I think, because they have a little beard. And these lovely blue ones have a very, very... Now then, I need to find... Ooh! I need to find quite a bright yellow. There's a little bit here that we've got... I think this is how I'll do it. Nope, not going to do that. Use a brush. This brush. Because they have these little sort of bits like that here. Next time you pick one, you have a good look, and you will see. And they are defining features of these irises. So there we are. That's not too bad. Throw it aside. And shall I have a go? This is going to rhyme. Shall I have a go at the Rococo? Because this beautiful tulip here is called a Rococo. I'm late. Iris looks fab. I love irises. Hello, Lucinda. Sarah Chambers. And oops, Daisy, they've all gone. Liz Else is watching. Have you considered a chain for your glasses? Have you considered some gaffer tape for your mouth, Paul? Lucinda, Carol Crow, Charlotte... Hello! Ross Corbett again. Charlotte Ridley, some of them wrong. Jerry Pulsing. And right back to the bottom. So I'm trying to work out how I can paint this so that you can see it and you can see me, and I don't think it's going to work. So let's just... I could maybe have a try. It's too close. There. I'm going to turn you a tiny weeny bit. Can you just about see it? No, you can't. Sorry. Well, there it is. You'll just have to imagine it. This is going to be quite tricky. Just so you know. I haven't even got anything to lean on. Maybe I'll lean on a calendar. Yeah. It's not often you get to work with just such strong red like this. I'm going to get another brush. Sometimes I use both hands. I'll have brushes in both hands. Because for these bits here, I need a smaller brush. You don't have to worry too much about the detail. And then the bottom part of this is coming back. So this piece here is this bit here, and while it's still wet, is a good time to add some of that deeper colour. You can see it sort of flooding through down there. And I sometimes just squint my eyes just to see if what I think is happening really is happening. And then the other side of this amazing tulip petal. So yeah, little Marv is going to the vet this afternoon again. Lovely Roger from Scott Mitchell has been looking after him, and his daughter is a fan of mine. His daughter Helena. So I might see her again this afternoon. That'd be nice. So I'm sort of building it up, not getting too bogged down with the detail, just about the sense of this beautiful redness and the sort of unfurling that's going on. I'm going to have a look at this bit here. Where's that little... I'm just sort of hinting at the sort of all these wrinkles and twirls that are going on. And if you do something like this, don't get too bogged down by the detail at this stage, says she. Which brush shall I use? So this one in the foreground, I'm going to wrong colour. I've got two colours down here. One is like a really Windsor red is what it is, and the other one is alizarin crimson. Oh, the other day I played back one of these ridiculous live videos. Can you see it? Okay, so and realised that I was describing a paint as Payne's grey, and it wasn't. It was sap green, and it was you were all too polite to say, "Are you an idiot? Why were you calling sap green Payne's grey?" Because I am an idiot sometimes. It's a very, very abstract shape. The whole thing is really, it is a confusion of petals and things. So I'm going to draw the stalk out the bottom. I'm just going to try and work out where it is in relation to everything. So I would go like that. Now then, it's quite surprising to see the yellow, bright yellow so close to the red. This isn't really a painting that you would just do in like in one go. Where's that nice yellow? Let bits of it dry and then come back to it. So I'm looking at it and it's even got green. Quite amazing. Oh, paintbrush the wrong way around. Just wondering where that green actually is. That's too dark. And there's some in there and maybe a bit there. Just sort of leave that like that for now and come back to it. Right. Helen Anderson! Little did I know you were interested in art. I'm going to do the eye on this cockerel. These last two flowers are proving really difficult. Jenny, oops, sorry, forgot to set my alarm. Please give my husband... hello, Rory. Apparently you're his... He's my celebrity crush. He's like the joint man. Golly. Oh, how lovely. Honestly, Jane, he's up there in my list of like gorgeous men, and obviously Pip Howard's up there as well, and Nick Ridley. Remember to paint a bumble. Oops! Remember to paint a bumblebee on the top. Jimmy! Jimmy, hello. We had such a nice chat last night, didn't we? Looking up the hills with the evening sun on the ridge and furrow. Tori Dodd's watching. Hello, Donna. Jane, God, you must be bored stiff. Jane, you can watch me paint 2 days a week. Enjoy the time with your children. That was a joke. Right, I'm just going to tip you lot up so that you can see. I'm going to just do the eye. So I'll need a little pointy brush. I cannot believe it's nearly 12:30 already. I haven't even had to refer to my list of things to say when I run out. Hey, do you know what? Other people are copying me. A friend of mine, she's great. She's a printmaker, so it's completely different. She's doing it. She's going to do live video today. I don't know what time. Her name is Carol Noonan, and as I say, she's a printmaker. And I might have to have a little spy because I don't want anyone else stealing me thunder. Right, this is tricky. Because really, these glasses aren't quite good enough. I'll do it, then I'll show you. So basically, you just do a little round black circle and leave behind a tiny little white dot. Paul, are you looking? And then it sort of looks a bit like an eye, but it'll look a bit more like an eye when I do something with some... Oh, can you still see? I do need some better glasses. It's been a while since I've been to Specsavers, and I think once you reach this sort of age, obviously your prime, your eyes change quite a lot. That's looking quite eye-like, isn't it? And considering I'm doing it under pressure, I don't think it's that bad. Do you? Julie, straight off to you at 12:30. We're all trying to copy you. Hi, Laura. Hello, Ryan Cooper. Where's Fifey? He does a garden for an older couple, and he fills their log baskets and looks after them in a sort of distant way. Can we get a close-up on the cock? Paul, you're so naughty. There's a close-up on the cockerel. Very, very naughty and disrespectful. Sarah Morley's watching. That's not a Sharpie. Hello there, Sir Louise Goldsworthy. Right, so I think that's quite good. I'm going to do something to these legs here because they're annoying me. They don't look right. They have no sort of depth. Oop. And they still don't. Oh, sorry. Tippy, tippy. I'm going to put something... No, I'm not. I'm going to do something to this. Right, I just started this morning, just with like one sweep of colour, and I'm going to do a bit more to it now. and you're going to watch if you want to, or you might like to go and start watching Carol Noonan's printmaking video at 12:30. Right. God, I've got to keep you entertained, keep you amused. I don't want you just swanning off to Carol. Recover fly running hair. Yes, right. So last night we went to the river again, as I say, Fifey and I. Those of you who've just turned up will have missed that whole part of the story. And it was lovely. And Fifey went in the river for the first time this year, and he quite liked it, but he did find it cold. And he said, "Don't you find it freezing?" And of course I would say, "Well, no, it's actually boiling for me, because as you know, I've been swimming in extremely cold water, including temperatures as low as 2 degrees. That was chilly, I have to say, all through the winter. We need this little hare's tail as well. And it was pretty nice. I got myself a little tiny bit too cold the day before, which I may have mentioned. And of course, Fifey likes to sort of go on and on about that. Yes, that was when you got yourself too cold. But the thing to do with Fifey is to just admit it. I said, yeah, I did. I got too cold. But he's worried that I'll just die. He's worried. Yeah, that is what he's worried about. He just cares for me. But if you get really, really cold, you can, I suppose you could have a heart attack or something. But I'm quite accustomed to the cold water, and I stayed in for quite a while, but not too long, which is the secret. And I saw some little fishes. I'm going to turn it this way up, because what I want to do is put a bit of a little bit of darker colour here to make it look as though the eye is in fact set in the head. And I would usually hold it upside down so that it dries like that. Carol is live. You're stepping on her parade. I think you'll find it's the other way around. I don't know how you do the cold water thing. Maria, you would get used to it. You just would. You are an accomplished swimmer. It's mind over matter, and women are a lot better at it than men. You ask the legend that is Mark Ridley, who has done most of the cold water swimming and outdoor swimming training in these here parts. Right, I'm going to quickly do this, and then we're going to move swiftly on to me doing my daily plugging. Hares, as you know, have black tips to their ears, and they have they don't have a bunny tail. They have but they have a black top to their sort of quite fluffy tail. That's enough of that. Look at the time. I've got stuff to do. Wait till you see what I got sent yesterday through the post. Pontefract cakes. Absolutely divine. And these are sent by Heather Gould. How kind is that? I've eaten nearly half of them already. So there's that. Right. Let's just say you're desperate to go shopping. You could go on my website and you might like to buy yourself lovely. Kirsty Ann Anderson, one of the NHS angels who tooted so hard the other day I nearly fell off my bicycle. Thank you, Kirsty, KB. You might want to buy a lovely scarf. You might not like that one. You might like that lovely scarf. Look, with trees and things on, just like how we've painted them. Or you might like this one, which has got trees and lovely, lovely sheep. Should you wish to go shopping on my website. Oh, or you might be bored and need some activities. Maybe just, maybe a little jigsaw. Or a massive big jigsaw that will take you forever. And these are fiendishly tricky. These are Wentworth jigsaws and they have what they call whimsy pieces, like funny little pieces, and no two pieces are the same. And they really are fiendishly difficult. And for you alone, if you put in the discount code LOCKDOWN, I'll pay the post and packaging, right? Anyway, licorice. Danny Findler, hello, wave. Elaine, good of you to join us late. Carol has her muffins out. So Ian Gibbons, have you got two screens? Have you split the screen so you can watch her and me? Well, I look forward to seeing how that goes. I watched a bit of her trailer last night. She's a very good friend, actually, and she does beautiful prints. So I better go so that you can all switch to Carol Noonan. Have a lovely day, and I'll see if I've still got any energy left tomorrow. Bye.